Hello, Brother Sewing and Crafting family. Angela Wolf here, Brother Brand Ambassador. Super excited to be with you. I hope you had a great weekend. For those of you that had some time off, or maybe you had some time for shopping, and I want to give a big heart. So many of you wish me happy birthday. When your birthday falls on Black Friday, it gives you a lot of excuses to go shopping. But thank you. You guys are the best. So we have two fabulous educators today. And the theme, can you guess? In case you missed the title, we're talking about stockings. And I have to say, I'm really excited for this one because while I was shopping, have you seen the price of some of those stockings? They're expensive, and I think we can make some that look even better. So we got Cindy Hogan, Cathy Gandy. Welcome to the Brother Sews party today. Hey, girls.
Hello.
Oh, my goodness. So I know our topic today is stockings, and I have to say, I did go shopping because I didn't know if I was going to have time to make anything, and they're crazy expensive, and then I couldn't find enough that all matched. So I'm really excited to see what you girls have in the works today, and I'm sure everybody in here does too. And by the way, we are live, so leave your comments and questions and show us some love on the like button. All right, so who wants to kick it off? Cindy, you made something super cute.
Yes, we're going to do mini stockings today. You can make them bigger, obviously, but we did mini stockings for gift card holders.
Or it could be for naughty people.
Or for naughty people, yeah. plop in a little candy in there and you're good to go, right?
Exactly.
So I did the small size because I think 5x7 is the most common hoop size, and I didn't want to outsize everybody. So, and besides, this is something we can achieve in this live with two people. Versus, so it's something bigger, we can't achieve that. So the stocking you can find free on my website. This one right here, the one with the stippling, and I will show you how to change it up. If you have a luminaire or a stellaire, you can change it up. Actually, even a 10 needle, you could change it up. So we'll get started, and I'm going to flip cameras.
So while you're flipping cameras, Cindy, I'm going to drop in the comments below for everyone the link to her website where you can find this stocking too. So I will post it on Facebook and YouTube, and I'll do it again at the end as well. So, all right, back to you, Cindy.
Okay, guys, I'm going to start over here at my table. Let me flip for just a second. Did I kill something? Nope, good. Okay, so you're going to need 2 5x7 hoops because we are going to do this in the hoop. A piece of stabilizer. You can do wash away. I used a no-show mesh. For the 5x7s, I used a piece of, what is that? Fleece, not fleece, flannel. Thank you, flannel. And then you're going to need an inner fabric, which is this one, and your outer fabric. So we're going to start with just this right here, and we'll go to the machine. Okay, so I sent this over here wirelessly from my computer. So it will be in my wireless pocket. We're going to slide down here and see what all I've got in here. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is the back, okay? That would be this one right here. So in your download, you'll see 2 files. You'll see the back and the front. We're going to go with the back first. It's real quick and easy. For that, you can simply start. Oops, let me get out of the way here. We're going to start, and we're going to put our green fabric down on top of our flannel. We're going to do it all at one time. I'm going to slide that in there. Now, let's come back over to our screen. Maybe. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and touch embroidery. And the first thing it's going to do is do a running stitch around the outside edge to basically hold my stocking, hold the fabric down in place so that it can stipple. And we're going to go ahead and just let it run.
So Cindy, somebody's asking again, are both fabrics flannel?
No, the outside fabric, it could be, but on this one, I just did a quilter's weight cotton.
Okay, great. Thanks.
And I did flannel instead of batting so that you could turn it easier. The batting just was too thick to turn a teeny tiny stocking, and I wanted it to have a little bit of body so that the stippling made sense. You could always skip that if you want. Let me do something and speed this bad boy up. I had it slowed down so it would stitch while I was sleeping last night. Yes, I'm one of those people.
Did you say stitch while you were sleeping?
I did. While it's doing that, I'll show you what you're going to do afterwards.
Oh, we love it if we can stitch while we're sleeping. I love that.
Exactly.
So yeah, I
exactly.
stitched this one while I was sleeping last night. This one is done with flannel.
Oh, that's
So
cute.
that's of a bigger size. So, I mean, you can do, this one's a quilter's cotton, just stippling. And then this one is a different decorative fill. And I'll show you how to use your decorative fills here in a minute. But after that's done stitching, it will have stitched two pieces together. You will have stippling and you'll have this stitched together. And you'll trim off your stabilizer and basically press it open. And then you're going to press it flat. So I've got this one ready to go for our top. Just giving you an idea of where we're going with that. We should be, we're about halfway through.
Vicki wants to know, does the flannel show or could it be a scrap of any color?
It could be a scrap of any color unless you have a light fabric. I used white because I didn't know what color fabric I wanted to use on the top.
That was a good question, Vicki.
We
all have our scraps for sure. And I think it was Patty wants to know if this stocking is for Princess. I love that, Patty.
Well, I think it will fit. A few of her treats will fit in it.
Oh, that's awesome.
So I think we could also resize the stocking on a stellaire or a luminaire or a 10 needle with stitch recalculation, and even a 6, I do believe you could resize it to be a different size. So we'll see that. We'll try that in a minute. So I'm just going to set this on top. So the next stitch to stitch is just going to attach those two pieces together. And while that's doing its thing, I'm going to grab the other hoop, because this one's going to be a little bit more complicated. Okay. I am going to take this one and we're just going to put our flannel down this time. And we're going to pull up the front. So let me flip cameras or flip views here. We'll say okay and go back home. And then we're going to go back into our embroidery machine, and we're going to touch the memory pocket. You'll have yours from the USB or wireless, whichever way you sent it. I'm going to go back down and find my little bitty stocking here and set. So the first stitch is going to basically tack down my flannel. I had to think of what I was doing here. So we're just going to stitch that down real quick. Oh, come on.
It's so quiet.
It is.
I do love the quietness of our machines. It makes life so much simpler. You don't have to yell to go over the top of it. Okay, so that step done. Let's go back to the overhead here. And you are going to take that and you're going to trim right up to the edge. Now, last night, I will tell you, I cheated. I did both my green fabric and my flannel at the same time. And if you want to do that, you can. Just make sure you get real close to the stitch line. And just skip one of the steps. All right. And now we're going to lay our green fabric back down on top of it. And it's just going to do a stitch to tack that down as well. What is the format that you save in? Automatically in an embroidery, in Brother Machines, we are PES formats is what we send to. If you save it off of the machine, it will be, depending on your machine, it'll either be a PHX or a PHC file. The newer machines, it really just depends. I used to be able to tell you that, but they've changed things so much.
I know. We used to have them memorized. Not anymore.
I believe it starts with the Stelaire, but I could be wrong. And then you're going to trim this one the same way. And you can you understand why I did a 5x7 instead of a 10 5/8 by 16. It'd take a bit longer to trim. Okay. All right, the next step is stippling. So, do I have time to switch it up here a little bit?
Oh, sure. Why not?
Exactly, yes.
Okay, so let's flip back over to the screen. We're going to remember that we're on step 3, okay? We're going to back up a little bit. We're going to go into our edit menu. And if you don't want to use the stippling, you can touch no sew and touch the 3rd step and tell it not to sew. Or you can simply skip that step, okay? But if you want to put a decorative fill in it, if you have a machine that has that capability, you can touch the stamp key and take that distance inward. So we're going to do a negative number so that it doesn't grab those little tabs out on the side there. And then we'll just put that in our machine's memory and we'll say okay. Now we're going to go to Add, My Design Center, and we'll go into our Stamps and Shapes menu, the circle and the square, and touch that matching flower, your outline shapes, and there's our stocking. And we'll touch OK. Then go into your fill properties and touch, if you want to do a stipple, well, you can stipple there, but we don't need to do that. We're going to touch our decorative fills and then touch select. So depending on what machine you have, depends on which ones you've got available to you. You can select one of those, pick a color for it, tap OK, your paint bucket, and tap inside there. If you want to do a custom decorative fill, you touch select, you touch your custom fills, and then you go out of your pocket and you would have these loaded on a USB. So let's see here. I have some decorative fills and motifs. Let's say I want to do, let's see what I've got in here. Oops, wrong one. The decorative fills, not motifs. How about we do Christmas trees this time? We'll say okay. say okay again, and then say okay again, and paint bucket it in. That's how, I mean, it's super easy to do. You're just switching it out. So you're not having to do this. You don't have to do what I've given you. You don't have to do stippling. You can change it to something else if you have that capability. Now, what if I want that Christmas tree right here? This button right here allows you to shift that position. So I can come and move that over to the left. Let's see what happens there. Let's go a little bit further. That's pretty close to center. I kind of like that one. You can also increase or decrease the size. So if you wanted it smaller, you can make them smaller, or you can make them bigger. That's up to you. Touch set and touch OK. So now that decorative fill is in there, and we'll touch embroidery. So we know that we've done down to 1, 2. Let's go. Let's hit our plus sign. We've done the first 2 steps, right? The next one we skipped, but we have to go to the decorative fill to make it before we do the rest of them. So you would fast forward to your decorative fill, touch OK, and now we're ready to stitch the decorative fill. Did I confuse anybody?
No. I don't think so. I don't see any questions rolling in either.
Y'all are awful quiet today.
So Cindy, you have quite a few decorative fills for purchase on your website, correct?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so we put a link to your website for the pattern, so you guys can check that out as well. And I'm so glad you showed that with the custom fills, because I get so many questions. People say, well, how easy it is to add a custom fill. That was pretty darn easy.
Yeah, I mean, you just simply want to shrink it a little bit smaller than the actual size, the exterior of that piece, if it's an in the hoop project. But it's super easy to do.
Perfect.
I mean, some of the in the hoop bags and things that you've got, you could certainly add your decorative fills to those.
So what format are the decorative fills that you put in My Custom Stitch?
They are in
I'm sorry, not My Custom Stitch. But...
They are PLF files.
Okay.
PLF?
PLF.
All right, drop that in the comments.
And I mean, they are specifically made for that. So they can't be used as an embroidery design themselves. They have to be put into something.
Yeah, that format lets you adjust them, right? Is that what
yes.
So you can change the size of them, and you can do all the other things that you can do with the fills that are built in.
Hey,
yes,
Michelle wants to know. Oh, you see it?
Yep. Yes, I did use the largest hoop for my bigger stocking, the 10 5/8 by 16. And we'll see what happens if we resize this guy here in a minute. After we make it, we may try to, if we have time, we'll see. I think we all do.
Exactly. Yeah.
Sometimes it's very cathartic just to kind of watch it sew. Or
I love
listen
that color.
to it in the
Although
background.
You had me giggling. I don't know if you could hear me when you were talking about flannel, because I was trying to find Win some Christmas presents this year. And speaking of flannel, he has these flannel pajama pants that my mom bought him a couple years ago. And he's like, I love these, but I hate the print. So I told him I'm going to go find some flannel and make him some pajama pants. And he asked me to maybe reconsider, because I made him pajama pants one time when we first started dating. I made him for Christmas, and I just grabbed a men's pattern, and he lifted them up like this. And he's like, these are great. They were so huge. you could put 3 of us in there. So I have to reconsider, but I might have to go get some flannel, and then I could make him matching pants and a matching stocking. How's that?
Oh, nice. Nice.
Now, one of the things I meant to do was change this to a single stitch, so it didn't take quite as long to stitch it. We're still only at 4 minutes. That is something I can do on the embroidery machine itself, but I can't do in software. So that's kind of a nifty little no. If I had put this decorative fill in software, it's automatically going to stitch it 3 times. In the machine, you can change it to a single.
Cindy, you got a few questions of people asking, what machines can you add custom fills to? So obviously you can on the Luminaire, you can on the Avenir.
Avenir. Luminaire and Avenir are the only 2 that let you do custom fills on the machine itself.
Right.
If you have P Design 11, you can use them there. You could have added it there instead. We should be just about done. Last part of the tree.
It's looking good though.
And then we shall back up a little bit. Okay. So since we did it that way, it's going to tell us we're done, and we know that we're not. We have to go back to where we were in our original steps, which would be right here. Okay. So this one right here is kind of a weird stitch. The first one's going to tell me where I want to put my ribbon, and the second one's going to tell me where I want to put my back on top of it. So I'm going to say, okay. Oh, this is funny. Y'all, I've done this. And my back is going to be stippling and my front is going to be trees. Okay. It'll be all right, right? We won't be that picky. And I usually do this in a different color just so that I can actually see what's going on.
I love that. It almost looks like flocking from this angle.
Yeah. It does. Yeah, it's really pretty.
Miss Maureen says, thanks for the design, Cindy.
You're more than welcome. Okay. So now it's got my little pieces down. It's got my things for me to know what to do. So I'm going to show you over here. Where did I put that stippling back? There we go. All right. See right here, I have a little mark. And for that, I'm going to take my ribbon and I'm going to angle it up. Now, guys, it took me forever to get my brain wrapped around this. You do want to angle it up because if you don't, it's going to be angled down when you pull it out. And I put it down about 3 inches from here. I want it to go right over the top of that. That's my first step. You want the same color to the same color. So my stippling, which should be trees, is going to go right along. There's a line here and a little line here. And we're going to place that right on top of there. And then we're going to flip this back out. We're going to tape it down. Now, you could trim this up more than I did. Normally, I would trim my little seams down a little bit further. But we're not going to worry about that. But there is one very important part of this. It's not just getting it across that straight line. It's making sure the toe of your sock is going to get covered by it. There we go. Now we're better. We're going to just tape that down, and I'm going to add one more little piece of tape down here. Then we'll go back to the machine. And you got this step because I learned the hard way when you leave an opening for turning, if you didn't actually stitch the things together, you have an opening all the way through. So, not optimal.
Well, it depends. Kathy said if they weren't good and you only had a couple little things in there, maybe the stocking's empty.
Yeah, you just put a bucket underneath and it all falls in there, and then you can pick it up.
I had an opening on the side because I've left mine open on the sides instead of on the bottom.
Yeah, don't forget about the turning part. So everyone watching, we are live today on YouTube and Facebook. If you have questions, drop them in the chat because we can see them and we'll answer. And if you're watching the replay, you can still ask questions because we'll come back and answer those. This is a fun project, Cindy. You know, in one of these larger hoops, you could do a few of these. I like these little ones. My mom actually has those for all of her grandkids because then they can take up the whole fireplace. And I like the little ones. They're cute.
Yeah. Okay. So now we're back up over here. And I learned that I like to do this step. You could technically skip it, but I had more success if I go ahead and trim this part away right now. Otherwise, I would forget. And I ended up cutting all the way through the other part. So this just makes life a little easier if you trim this up so that you know what you're trimming when you get to the next step. Just kind of take it. And honestly, it's the most important part is this. You could skip going the rest of the way around. The most important part is that side because that's where we're going to turn. And then y'all, I'll let Kathy do her thing while I turn this. Y'all can fight this on your own.
I always laugh about that. One time I left the hole so small when I was doing one of these projects, I literally had to use my pinkies to flip that thing around.
It is quite the challenge. Okay, so now we're going to slide that down and we're going to grab our red fabric, the back, and we're going to place it face down over the top. And we're ready to do the last step. And if you look on my screen here, you'll notice there is a little opening there. That's where we're going to turn. Okay. Now I'm going to tell you I'm sure y'all have heard this trick before, but when you get to this corner, especially if you're doing a large one with batting in it, just stop it and hold your button down for a few minutes till it gets past that point. And then you can let it take off.
We're all just sitting here watching. But, we're
Exactly.
waiting for you to turn it inside out.
Okay. So I'm going to show you how to finish trimming it up, and then I'm going to pass it to Kathy while I turn it.
Oh, come on. We want to watch you.
You don't need to see those struggles. The struggles are real. Actually, I will have to show you part of it, but
I would love to know in the comments if anyone has a trick, because sometimes I'll use needle nose pliers, or even the small needle nose that come with your serger. Those work. I would love to know who has little tricks. What are those little things that you get in the dinner when you don't use a fork?
chopsticks.
Chopsticks, yes.
Yeah,
Sounds like.
and they have the little hemostats too that sometimes help.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one.
I probably have some of those. So I'm basically cutting my stabilizer away up to the edge because as much, the more bulk you can get out of it, the better it is. Okay.
I wish I could do that for me too.
Wouldn't that be nice? And I suggest you do this from this side. Take your scissors and go up to about 1/4 to 1/8 of an inch on this side. And then trim around it.
It's a pretty easy project, Cindy.
And cut your corners. It is an easy project. Cut your corners off. Just don't cut your stitches out. Okay. So now, I'm going to leave one tail a little longer than the other, and I usually press these open at this point before I turn. Then you're going to take and this piece right here, there's one piece of fabric, and you're going to start pushing it through. And this is where it gets more challenging.
This is the tiny hole.
Teeny tiny hole, and once you get it started, you'll do all right with it. It's just getting it started. There we go. And it's going to go through here. So, Cathy.
All righty.
You go ahead. See, I've got it started. So you guys got the concept here, and then I'll show you the rest of it here in a minute.
All right, we're going to let Cindy go use every finger she has to try to figure out how to turn that inside out. Let's go to Cathy.
Well, this is Christmas stockings for everybody, which is okay unless you have a large family, and then we like to put the names on it so people know who's who and what stocking, but that's just too much for me. I know. So I have a number of stockings that I have, and they don't have any names on them. We're used to putting names on the cuff of the stocking, and then you can only use it for that person. So what I've done is I made, you can make your Christmas stockings. So you have all your Christmas stockings, and they can be different. They don't have to be the same. But then you go to Art Spira and you make a tag. And so now this is Alex's stocking for when he's visiting Grandma. So I don't have to have this on the cuff. I can just make with the sublimation. Now these are sublimation blanks, and I was able just to do Art Spira, put it on the ornament, and tape it down with heat resistant tape, and use the sublimation and heat press it down. Just easy, easy, easy. So if you need to do several of them with Art Spira, you can just, can you see this?
There, now we can. Yep.
Because it's backwards, of course, because that's how it works. So when you heat press it, it'd be the right way. But you can do several of them on one sheet of sublimation paper and get your whole family on there and do them on the different ornaments. So you can get different blanks. There is, this one is ceramic. And then this is the one that I did. And then you have this one. So this is just a few of them, but you can do different sizes and different things. I think it's a great idea to where I don't have to mess with my cuff. You can use, because if you have a fur topped cuff, you don't really want to do embroidery on it. I mean, you can, but I would rather just use the tags and then keep my stockings and use them for the next group that comes the next year. So I really like the idea. And then I thought, well, okay, so they've taken their stocking and it's filled with stuff. If they're good, if they're bad, they may not have a bunch in it. So you can make drawstring bags for them to take the stuff out of their stockings and put into their drawstring bag, if I can find it. Just quick and easy. You take the tag off the stocking and put it on the bag. Let me see, can you see it? And there you go. And then they can just fill this up and they have their goodies to take home with them. And you don't have to go searching for them and little pieces of candy and all that. They have their own little bag for it.
That's so cute, Cathy. I love that.
Those are super cute.
And then, of course, you can't forget the little pets. So this is you can use this for a dog or a cat. And so it's a little stocking for your pet. This is just felt. You just cut the little feet out and just, I just glued those on and then have the little hanger here. So I've made large stockings, but you know, you have to check with the family and see. You have to have several sizes so you know what name to put on what stocking. So if they're not, you know, if they have been naughty, you can give them one of the smaller stockings.
I love that. That's so cute. Everybody's saying super cute, super cute. Yeah, I think the sublimation tags are fun.
Yes, and it's really easy to do, and I just like the looks of it. These now the ceramic ones, they're just really pretty, but these have a piece of plastic on the front and the back, and you just peel that off, and then I put the sublimation paper on here, and I taped it down. You want to be careful because sometimes you can take with the tape on here, you can take some of this off, but you can do both sides if you want. So it's just a lot of fun to use the Art Spera and the sublimation.
Everybody's saying super cute. Hey, Alexis.
Hey, Alexis. Yeah, so this stocking here, and it was going to be really kind of fun, was supposed to have lights in it. So, because these are little tubes filled with batting, and so it's pretty puffy. And then you're zigzag them together so you can put the tiny little lights through the zigzag. But I got the wrong kind of lights and they're too big, they wouldn't fit. So anyway, so that's what this is made so that you can put your lights in here.
That's a great, what a fun idea, Cathy. I love that.
Yeah. So these are all separate tubes, and then they're just zigzagged, and I needed to probably use a little bit longer zigzag, and so hopefully I can find the right lights, and you just put those through, and then you I was going to make a pocket back here to put the light controller back in here and be able just to turn it on and off. But anyway, that's what this stocking was supposed to be. I was going to be impressed, but I got the wrong lights. So sorry.
so that's so funny. Alexis says, note to self, naughty equals small stocking. So
and a piece of coal. Yeah. So
Alexis, I'm sending this one your way. All right, guys.
Don't forget to rake the thin plastic
please
off.
take the thin plastic off. Yeah, it's
Lorraine, ask her how she knows. I love that.
All right. You ready for me to finish this up?
Kathy's picking the plastic off. You're flipping. I'm just hanging out watching. This is a lot of fun. All right, Cindy, what do you got?
All right, so I flipped it and I have my little opening tucked under. And so we're going to take this to the machine and we're just going to stitch that up real quick on the sewing side. You could hand stitch it if you want. You could actually even glue it if you want. I've switched over to sewing and I'm just going to grab a straight stitch. You pick, I'm going to do my quilting piecing stitch Q-02 if you want to see that. I will show you that stitch right there. And let me go back to here. Let's lift my foot up and we're just going to put the foot down. Let me see where I'm at. Close enough for government work. Oh. I don't know, you guys. It's kind of hard to sew from the awkward side. But there you go. Now your stocking is done. And I'm going to flip it one more time.
I agree, Marilyn. I agree.
What are you agreeing about? Can't see when I'm.
She's impressed with both of your projects. I said I agree.
Well, thank you. This is a.
Yes, thank you.
The bigger ones are much easier to do, guys, but they're not quite as fast.
You're getting
these
there.
Are great. These are great little gift card holders.
I agree with, I think Patty said these would be so cute because you could add an embroidered design, or like I mentioned, my mom has, she has just the first letter of each of the grandkids' names on a small one like this. They're so cute. And this would be such an easy thing to do.
And
hang them up.
They'd be really cute as ornaments also, just hang on the tree.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You could hide a little something in them and hide them in the tree and then let them find out, see if they can find sort of like a Christmas stocking Easter egg hunt.
There you
Scavenger hunt. Scavenger. Yeah. I wonder if Jackson, who just turned 2, pretty sure that wouldn't end very well. We'd find him up in the tree somewhere.
Exactly. Or the tree down on the floor on him.
Mom, if you're watching, don't stress out. I promise we're not going to do this.
Well, you'd have to just hang them all down towards the bottom.
Yeah.
And then you turn your cuff down and press it, and you're done.
Oh, that's so cute.
Nice. Very cute.
There we go.
Oh, Paula has a good idea. These would make silverware holders for Christmas dinner table.
Oh, cute. Very cute. Yeah.
Yes, they would.
Great idea.
Yeah, very nice.
Now, I am going to show you one trick that I just feel compelled to show you before I forget.
All right.
Let me trim this part back. Where we're going to use one of Angela's tools that you all think of for sewing garments for pressing this seam.
Oh, you got the clapper out there?
I do have the clapper. I use it for embroidery.
Oh, clappers are good for a lot of things.
We're going to back that out right there. And this too. So this is your back. Remember, we stitched that together and we set it aside, and I already had one trimmed for you. So when you go to press this open, you're going to press it this way first. Now, I obviously trimmed all the rest of that off when I did mine. And then you're going to take this and pull that green back as far as you can get it to go. And this is where the clapper comes in handy. We're going to press it like that. Am I in the shot here? We're going to press it real hard like that. And then we're going to slap that clapper down on there.
I'm giggling. Is that the one I signed? Make sure you don't do it flip upside down because my name will be upside down.
Yeah, it is the one you signed, and I have to make sure I don't do that. You are correct. And then
I love that, Patricia.
So now you've got a nice even seam across there. there you go.
That is so cute. Nice. Yeah, those clappers are amazing what they can. You just don't realize how wonderful it is and how it soaks up the moisture, and it's great.
It just gives it that nice stiff
Crisp
press.
edge. Yeah.
Crisp edge. Everybody's saying thank you, thank you, thank you.
Well, here's,
Yeah, Lorraine. Oh, go ahead. I'll go back to you, Kathy.
Well, here's just that little piece of plastic, so you can see. Well, I don't know if you can see it or not. Let me do it like this.
Come on, dude.
There you go. Can you see it?
Oh, yeah.
So there's a little thin piece of plastic on the front and the back. So you need to take that off because you don't want to sublimate on that. You want to sublimate on the blank that's ready for sublimation. So you need to take this plastic off because it saves the surface for your sublimation, so it will take the sublimation better. So just take off your protective little piece of plastic.
Perfect. Perfect. So, Lorraine, thanks for the reminder on that. Thanks for the reminders. Yeah. We got Cindy. Cindy, what are you doing over there, playing?
Okay, yeah, I was making sure we could do this. But, all right, so let me flip cameras.
Bring you back?
Yes, hold on.
Oh, you got to love it when we find something new.
I just wanted to make sure before I told you could do this for sure that you can actually do this. All right, so that stocking that we have, that's 5 by 7, that's free. You can, if your machine has resize with stitch recalculation on it, which means when you go into your edit menu and you touch size, you see this little button right here. Okay, that's your resize with recalculation. If you tap that and touch OK, you can then make it bigger. I believe it's 200% bigger. So you can make that one about 14 inches.
Just make sure you write the size down to size the next one the same way.
Yes. So, well, the next one, just fill the hoop. I mean, you could, so let's save this one. We'll just put this in the machine's memory.
But if you don't want to do fill the whole hoop, you might want to.
Let's see here, 13.63. So if we grab this one, edit size and choose stitch recalculation. That's what you would do.
Nice.
That would take care of you. So that would get both parts of it done in a bigger size if you have a bigger hoop.
That's an easy way to do that. I love that. Terry wants to know, hey, what tape are you using for your, let me see what that is. What tape are you using to hold the sublimation while you heat press?
It's a heat resistant tape. Yeah. You can just look for it. It's made for sublimation. It's a heat resistant tape.
Perfect. All right. Any other questions? I have a little scroller down there in case you didn't stop by your brother dealer this last weekend. They're having huge sales now through Christmas, I'm sure. I'm just going to go on the assumption on that. And I have my gift somewhere, the gift catalog. You know what? I brought it to my mom so we could go shopping. It's probably in my suitcase. The gift site is out there too, so don't forget about that. All right. Any other questions? Everybody said thank you, thank you. Hey, Karen, the iron is not a brother product, so I'm going to say yes on that your question, but I'll let Cindy answer that.
I just take the thumbs up for whatever you think it might be. Yeah.
Karen, yeah, we'll leave it at that. You can message Cindy though if you want more details on that.
Obviously, I've taped over my. So yes.
Oh yes, Santa's bringing sublimation printers all over the place.
Yeah, I it's so much fun. There's so much you can do with it. It's just, I love the scan and cut, and I use it for a lot of things. But something like that, I do not want to weed all that. I just do not. And so the sublimation printer just makes it so nice. You just have to make sure that what you're sublimating on is ready for that heat. It was a couple shows back, I made a little beanie. I don't know if you remember the beanie or not, but it was a polyester fabric, and I didn't read what it was. You know, it was a polyester fabric, and I didn't check if it was sublimation ready or not. So I was going to put a little emoji on it. So I put my heat press down, and all of a sudden it just didn't sound right. And I opened it up, and the fabric had disintegrated because it just burned away.
Oh no!
Was it recycled plastic by any recycled polyester by any chance?
So if you're going to use polyester fabric, you have to make sure that it's sublimation ready, because polyester is just a plastic, and so if it's not sublimation ready, it'll just melt. So a little warning there. It took a little cleaning, but it's good.
Yeah. Oh no. So this is going to cover your face up for a second, but I got to bring this up because Patty won when we did the giveaway, and I love this. She got the multi-function foot pedal for her Stelaire and a scan and cut for her daughter. Now, Patty, that is a great way to use the gift card that you won. And I was so excited to see your name because you always join us for every live show, which we love it. So thank you. Thank you. All right. So I guess that's a wrap for today. Just a quick reminder, Cindy has live shows every Tuesday, this afternoon, actually. You want to tell everyone what's on your live shows? Because
my live is at 3.
We got new fans.
3:30 Central Time on my Facebook page, Cynthia's Embroidery Facebook page. We talk about everything Brother Software. So you bring in your questions and I answer them live. That way you get to know what you need to know instead of me just coming up with something that you may have no intentions of ever wanting to do.
There you go. That's an easy way to say that. And also, I have a live show tomorrow on Wednesdays at 1:30 p.m. Eastern, usually garment sewing, although I have strong orders this week, Cindy and Cathy. You're going to love this. So my nieces would like me to make these dresses that have little hearts going down. And all I'm thinking is applique and scan and cut. That's going to be coming up. And then they both want tooth fairy pillows, although they haven't lost any teeth yet. So I better get on it.
There you go.
That's on my tall order. You guys work on stockings. I'll work on the tooth fairy pillows and we'll get that going. And also, just so you all know, we're updating the schedule for the live shows. So you can go to angelawolf.com for those. There's a button that says live. That will show you the live shows, because at Christmas and New Year's, there will not be live shows. So we're going to try to get everything scheduled for you out through January so you know what's coming. All right, everybody's saying thank you. Thank you. Great show. Oh, gosh, you girls, this was such an easy, fun project. If you can't find the link, I dropped it earlier. We'll drop it again to Cindy's website. Cindy, they can just go to your website too, right? And just find that link.
Yeah, click on free designs. That's all they've got to do.
That's Cynthia's
and it's the
Embroidery.
very first one. Yep.
Perfect.
The very first one.
Well, I wish both of you a Merry Christmas in case I don't see you by then, and I'm going to start working on my stockings.
Well, Merry Christmas, everybody, and thank you so much.
Yeah, happy holidays.
Bye. Until next time, everyone, happy sewing. And to end this, I want to show you the buttonhole feature with the Avenir. Until next week, happy sewing, everyone.